video while I'm doing it, or the live stream, and letting me know if there's any technical difficulties. I'm Philly. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm in Philadelphia here in the city, and bringing to you a French recipe. So I'm going to repeat everything I was saying. My recipe is from a series that I've been doing. Usually it's horizontal. Usually I have a microphone. Usually I have better video, but YouTube switched the rules on me today when I went to start my live stream. They did not give me an option for horizontal, which is what I usually do. And that has basically turned everything upside down, or right side up. We're vertical today. We will just make it work, right? And Laura Calder has a great cookbook called French Food at Home. And with Paris Olympics coming up, I felt inspired to dig into some French recipes. And today, the most iconic of French recipes, Almond Sole, also known as Sole Amandine. And what I was mentioning is one of our favorite French restaurants here in the city park. They have a trout Almondine, and it is amazing. It is just, it was so outstanding and buttery, and the almonds were crispy and the fish was perfectly cooked. I'm hoping that mine will come even close, and I'll talk about the fish in a minute. But in the States, you can recognize this recipe. In most American restaurants, they'll say Almondine, but in French, it's Amandine. So you'll see that spelling difference. Don't despair. It's basically almond and then whatever fish you have. Speaking of fish, so sole is not always easy for everyone to get. I have a fish person that I love in the city called Small World Seafood. Shout out to you. I was just there today picking up my seafood for the week, and the closest they had was branzino. So we're doing branzino because this is life, right? You have a recipe, you want to make it, it sounds really yummy, and then you come to find out you don't have the specific ingredient, and you go, what am I going to do? Can't make the recipe. No, like we got this. So truly, with this recipe, you could put any mild white fish in it. And frankly, you can explore with some of the other fish if that's your jam. But I was able to get branzino, and so that's what we'll be using today. And so I actually like when that happens, because I always want my foodie friends to know that flexibility is not only the key with being in the kitchen, but also is, frankly, it's like a superpower. So if you can work flexibility in, you're gonna be able to have a lot more success in your kitchen. So to get started, I'm gonna have a sip of wine because I'm a little stressed. Glad I poured it. This is not a French wine. This is actually, I think, a California wine, a Sauvignon Blanc, but I definitely need a sip. So how is everybody this Thursday? We are close to Friday, and I'm very excited about that. And Kitty, thank you for popping in. Very nice. I'm glad everyone can hear. Okay, so fish. I know, Edith, you've been wanting these fish dishes. So you're getting fish today, and you're getting French fish. Really simple. And in fact, it would be sole manure. No, that sounds like I'm saying sole manure, and that's not what I'm saying. Manure, which is a butter, like a brown butter sauce that you would do with fish, and it could be any fish. But when you add almonds, our key ingredient, these are actually sliced almonds. You could use slivered almonds. I like the sliced almonds, and probably it's because Park does it this way. And so, so those are the almonds I'll be using. You need clarified butter. I actually buy this. This is just the brand, doesn't matter the brand. You can also make clarified yourself. You can just heat up some butter, and then you'll see all this foamy white stuff that comes at the top. You skim all that off till underneath is just the solid fat, and what has risen to the top that gets foamy are actually the milk solids. You don't want that in this recipe because that is what can make your fish burn. So this will have a higher smoke point, and so that's why you want clarified butter. You also just need some lemon, and fish and lemon, they go together. Some simple parsley, using Italian parsley, some all-purpose flour, and some salt and pepper. The pepper I'm going to be using, and a lot of you that have been following me know that I'm a big fan of white pepper. I definitely use black pepper. But what I like about using white pepper when I'm going to be doing a flour application to chicken or fish or whatever is that you don't see all the black specks. Not that that's a big deal, but what I like is white pepper just has a different flavor profile that I think is a little, it just is bolder, but it's not that it's spicy. It just has a little different flavor, and I really like it. So you could definitely use black pepper. I'm going to use white pepper because I have it. And that's it. So let me get out the branzino so you can see. So what's everyone having for dinner today? Here is our branzino, and you can see that the skin is still on this. Usually I would prefer the skin to be off. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not good at getting skin off fish, so was not even going to attempt it. So basically, here are the 2 fillets, and the description below serves 2. So we are going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flour mixture put together. So I have a plate here. You could use a kind of a shallow dish. And all we're going to do is we're going to put a 1/2 cup of flour. I'm just going to eyeball that. There you go. And then we're going to season it with salt and pepper. She does not have any, and I'm just going to kind of do this on there. She does not have any amounts. Let me just check. I don't believe, because you're just going to do it to taste. And what I would recommend, no, she doesn't have that. And what I would recommend is seasoning it pretty aggressively, because that is the seasoning that you're going to have. By the way, let me tell you a bit about the recipe. Besides the things we have, let me give you amounts. It was a 1/2 cup flour. We're going to be using a 1/2 cup of butter. Wow, that is going to like certainly break the diet this week. But we don't have to use all the butter at the end, but it'll, besides cooking the fish, it'll also be a nice drizzle with the almonds, because it's going to cook the almonds a little bit too. We are going to get some milk to dip our fish in before we dredge it in the flour. We're going to need 1/2 lemon, and they said a 1/2 cup of slivered almonds. I have, as I said, the sliced ones, and I think I have a 1/4 cup. I wish I had more, but that's just kind of what I had. And then a handful of parsley leaves chopped. So I'm going to get our flour ready. I'm going to get our parsley chopped so everything's ready, because this is going to cook quick. This is not going to be a long one, friends. So let me just keep this out so I can see. Oh, Edith, I can't believe, and you know, I thank you first of all for coming on, but I am beside myself that it's doing this whole vertical thing to me again. So I will, you know, reach out to the YouTube people that don't think that much of me because I'm not a big fish in the pond, but like that was a little annoying. That was a little annoying today to come find this out. At least I'm gonna have a little bit of a break, and we'll talk about that. I'm not taking a month break, by the way. Okay, I'm just gonna do some pinches of salt, because again, all this flour is not going on the fish. I just wanna make sure it's well seasoned. And then this is just white pepper powder, which is another nice thing about it. I'm just gonna sprinkle some on there. This you just do to your taste. But what I want you to remember when you're adding your amounts is that all this flour is not going on the fish, right? So a lot of it's gonna be still on the plate. And so what we wanna do is just make sure that we have enough seasoning to season our fish well. So let's get our parsley chopped before we begin everything. So I'm gonna get my board out and my favorite knife. There we go. So Edith, is it warm still up in Connecticut? I know we're gonna be having a change. Tomorrow's supposed to be delightful. I think 83 degrees, low humidity, very excited. In fact, Hubs and I were gonna go out and eat outside tomorrow in the city. So that is our plan, because it's gonna be gorgeous. And then I'm sure it's gonna start getting warm again, because that's kind of what happens. It's summer. It's summer in the city. It tends to get quite warm. Hey Tate, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So where are you all from? So I know where Edith's from, and Kitty, and Morgan, and I know where Matthew's from, and John and Tate. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. We all know where I'm from. So I'm just gonna run my knife through this. You don't have to worry if there's, you don't have to take all the leaves off the parsley. Just rip off the tops. Parsley stems actually are quite flavorful, and they'll just add to it. Okay. There we go. Excellent. So in getting this recipe ready, one of the things I've mentioned to you that I love is that she always talks. Let me actually put this over here. She always talks about, oh, we got a little parsley in there. Not that that's a problem. Let me get my book. She always talks a little bit before her recipes, which I love. So one of the things, she said this classic, which it is a classic French recipe, is one of her favorite ways to eat fish. And so, I mean, that's what you need to know. Now, if you don't like the nuts, then stick with just the sole manure, which is just the butter, you know, and that's fine too. And she was saying steamed broccoli or green beans is great to serve on the side. That's what I'm gonna be doing because I love green beans and they'll be good, and I can even put some of the extra butter on top, so I don't even have to worry about seasoning. And she does talk about clarified butter. So let me show you my green beans. You can obviously steam over the stove, and no one can at me because I know how the microwave gets treated at times on social media. But here is this container that I've had for a long time that's a steamer. So underneath here, this goes in the microwave, is some water. I put a little bit of water. These have been cleaned and trimmed, and then we're just gonna be putting that there. And I'm gonna actually get this set so that it can cook while we're doing the fish. So everything will be done at the same time. I'm not gonna get it yet, but I'm just going to have it in there. Your all responsibility is making sure I don't forget to press start on that. And now we're ready for our fish. So let me show you what we're gonna do. Let's see here. I'm gonna tilt you down a little bit so you can see even better what's happening. There you go. Okay, so let me get the milk. Almost forgot that. I'm gonna forget that. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I was just gonna pour the milk right on top of the fish on the plate. Just help give it a little wetness, a little moisture. So I'm gonna pour a little milk, It says a half cup, but I don't think we actually really need a half cup. I'm just gonna give it a little moisture. Milk also is known to, with fish, take out any fishiness. Now this should not be fishy. It's a very mild fish, doesn't smell fishy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, and then we're just gonna dredge one side and then the other side. And it's a light dredge. And then I'm gonna move this flour over, because I'm gonna just lay it here. You shake off the excess, and there we are. I'm gonna take this one, let the excess drip off. I mean, this is about as easy as it gets. Most people have flour, salt and pepper. A lot of people have milk, and I do think you could use, if you don't have cow's milk, I think you could use, you know, almond milk, oat milk, just something to kind of help clean it off a bit. There we go, and then I'm gonna put that there. Our fish is ready to go in. So now we need to get our pan hot. So let me rinse my hands with that, because the flour basically becomes like a paste. So we wanna get that off. There we go. And Edith said, big storm last night, but today was in the mid-80s. So is your humidity out of there too, or is that still on the way out? I know ours isn't gonna be fully out, I think, until tomorrow. So these are ready to go. You can see. I mean, this is really, I love that sometimes the best things can be simple. So before I bring you over to my stove, let me get this on and let me get my pan on. Okay. So let me get this carefully. This was our milk, or now it's like fishy milk. Let me get that in the sink. Hubs is not probably going to be heard off of the stream. He has an event, so you might see him, but this is a pretty quick recipe. So I have a feeling that we won't see him. Let me just tidy up a little bit. Move some of these things out of the way. We're going to need these two things over, the clarified butter and the almonds, for when we're cooking. And then I'm gonna need my lemon. Actually, I have one already cut that I can use, and I'm not gonna need this anymore. So I'm gonna put this over here. Let me tidy this up. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow is supposed to be beautiful here, which is great. There we go. So you have any plans for the weekend, Edith? Do you have any photography booked? I've got to actually, I've been able to post on social media, but I've got to browse more because I haven't come across your stuff in a hot minute, and as you know, I love what you do. So I have got to take a peek. Okay, so this is all set. So I'm gonna first just read you what she says we're gonna be doing next. So we're getting our heat on. We're gonna fry immediately in the butter until done, about 3 minutes per side. Then remove the fish to a serving plate. Then we're gonna squeeze on lemon juice to taste. After that, I'm gonna put the almonds into the butter to warm. Then I'll add the parsley, and then I pour that over the fish. So that's what's gonna happen. Let me put the parsley over here, and I'm gonna bring y'all over here so you can see. Okay, let's go over. So a little seasickness. Hopefully not too bad. Let me see how that looks. We need to go down a little further. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So let me also get my plate. I'm gonna put my fish on. By the way, a little trick for warming a plate. You can put it in the microwave for a minute to warm it. So I'm actually gonna do that because I don't wanna put my fish on a cold plate, because that will immediately start to bring the temperature down. So let me get that warmed for a minute, and let's get started here. Okay, so let me feel, how I always like to do it is I like to make sure my pan is warm, and then I like to add the oil or fat I'm using. So here's the clarified butter. Now she does say a half cup. I do not know that I've ever used that much. So this is gonna push me a little. So let's see how we do. It's gonna be a lot of butter. And I'm gonna make a executive decision that that's close enough. I think it might be a little under, but I just think that's enough for me. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we're gonna let that melt. Now she doesn't say the exact temperature it should be. I do know that since we are frying it, I have it on a medium-high heat, and I can always turn it down. I have it on about 7. I can always turn it down when I need to. I'm taking out my warm plate, and it's going to be right here, so we can transfer it when we need to. And as soon as I get my fish going, I'm going to get those beans cooking too. I think it's ready. I see a little smoking, so I think this is ready. All right, so let's get it in. I'm going to turn it down just a tad. I'm going to turn it down to 6. I'm going to start with the skin side. When you put in a fish fillet, one of the things you want to do is you want to kind of lay it down and make sure you never do it towards you. You always want to lay down anything frying away from you. Really important. So our 3 minutes have begun, and I'm going to get my beans going. There we go. So I think that's plenty of oil. I do think it was a little under a half cup. Maybe if my fillets were bigger, but I think this is going to be just fine. And then just this part, we don't have to do anything. So let's just make sure we have our ingredients. I have my parsley right here. I've got my lemon. In fact, I'm going to get my lemon in my squeezer. The squeezer is good for many reasons. One of them is it can make sure that no seeds also go in when that's time. I'm going to trim off these edges so it goes in a little bit easier. Lemon is such a great complement to fish. Any seafood, actually. I love squeezing. When I had those, and frankly, citrus as a whole, when I had those fish tacos this week that you might have seen, I love squeezing that lime on top. It just brightens it, kind of plays with the richness of the fish. There we go. Wonderful. All right, so Edith said, I'm booked tomorrow and the weekend, so I'm glad you streamed this today. I haven't shared too much lately. Some clients are very private, and that's okay. I have to respect it. Absolutely. I think, and you know what I love about you, Edith, is you are the kind that would be very respectful for that. And I think that's important. And I think, people trust you, and that is a great reputation to have. I am just a little bit curious because she didn't give a specific heat. I'm just noticing, just letting you know what I'm seeing. So I'm noticing a little smoking, which is not to be unexpected. Oh, we are getting very crispy under there. By the way, not all fish skin is edible if you so choose, but branzino actually very much is. It's the kind of skin you can eat. I'm not a super huge fish skin person. Not sure why, it's just not my jam. I've had it at a few different restaurants that have done it well, and I haven't eaten the whole side that had the skin, like I just kind of pick off the meat. But you'll have to let me know, do you like fish skin? Because I think you enjoy fish, eat it. So have you ever had fish skin? And it's only good to have if it's gotten really crisp. So we are coming up to the end of our 3 minutes, and these are thin, so I'm actually going to go ahead and flip this. So this is the part that you do want to be careful about. Remember, you want to go away from you. So there you go. Look at that. Excellent. All right. So they are flipped, and now the other side is cooking, and we'll do it for another 3 minutes. There we go. But I mean, honestly, think of how easy this is. Like in a minute, we're going to be having these done on the plate, and then we're going to squirt this with lemon. In fact, let me see if you can all see that plate a little bit. So I might just scoot it a little bit over this way to make sure you can see that. And then we are going to put lemon on there, and then we're going to get the almonds in. I think I can move it a little bit more. I'm just move a little bit more. You can see everything really well. So the only reason I'm doing this is I'm just trying to make sure it gets the side that's kind of flipping up. I just want that crispiness there too. This isn't necessarily a necessary step, but I feel like I want to make sure that can get all nice and crispy. So it feels right to me. There we go. Oh, I need to get my fork out for me to try it. There we go. All right, so we're getting close. I'm going to take out the beans. Let's see here. And I think you just need probably like 1 more minute. Set my timer so I don't get to chatting. I'm going to do that one more time, what I was doing. Kind of get that in there. And I'm going to move this guy. Whoopsie, I don't want to ruin him. I want to move him around to kind of get that other side with that one. There we go. Wonderful. Okay. These are quite thin, so I think they are just about done. Okay, I'm just turning off my timer. This will do it. So now I'm going to turn off my heat because this heat is going to stay in this pan for a while. And I'm going to flip it. Look at that color. Look at that color. Oh my goodness. Isn't that beautiful? Can you see that? Let's get that on there. And we're going to flip this one. Wow. These are gorgeous. Excellent. Let me put that back there. I'm just going to flip one thing here. Everything's super crispy, which is wonderful. Okay. Get that here. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the lemon, so you can all see that, and squirt it so that can absorb in. And now here what we're going to do is we're going to add our almonds. They should be right over here. And then we're going to add our parsley. Let me get these warmed through. Look at that. Okay, let's add our parsley. Popping because of the water that's in it. Totally normal. And that is it. That is it. So let me show you what we do next. I'm going to take this yumminess, and get this, my almonds down here. So quick. What a quick meal, you know. Now at Park, they do get these almonds quite brown, and that is absolutely something you could do. But look at how gorgeous this is. Simple and beautiful. Wow. So nice. Here we go. Let me show you. Look at that. Gorgeous. Almond Sole, Almonds Bronzino in our case. All right, so I'm gonna bring you back and I'm going to get a picture of this. Let me see here. There we go. All right, let's see how we can do this. Let me look up here a second. Whoopsie. There we go. Let's see how that looks. Not too shabby. Okay. All right. Got this in the way. Let's move that out of the way. Okay. It's tilting. We're doing a little tilt. All right. Thank you for your patience, friends, with this technical stuff. Let me show you that again. So, look at that. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, woo, that is steamed. Get our green beans. I get another plate. I think, yeah, I do need another plate. Because this is for Hubs and I. I'm going to get some green beans here. But this just takes such a short time. That's one of the things I love about it. Such a short time. Okay, and I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna do this. Wow. And I'm gonna get this sauce. I'm gonna get a little spoon that I can spoon this over the green beans, because that'll be nice. I want the fish to hog it all. There we go. Put a little bit more lemon on those green beans. Nice, beautiful. All right, let's give it a try. I'll take this in right here. It is, I need you to see this. It is just so tender. See that here? It just flakes. It's just so tender. Comes right off. Let me taste that. It's gonna be hot. Mmm. That's delicious. First of all, what I love about it is I love fish. So what I love is it complements the fish. It doesn't overpower the fish. The fish is cooked perfectly, and it is the seasoning spot on. That's why you always want to aggressively season your flour mixtures, because there's not everything that's going to be going on. So you want to make sure you get enough salt and pepper. Let me get one with the almonds. Absolutely delicious. The reason, you get a taste of wine. One of the reasons I like it with the sliced almonds is they get so crispy and they're delicate, which to me kind of marries with the delicate fish. So you definitely can use slivered almonds, but if you can find sliced almonds, I actually think they're better. I think texture-wise, you cannot beat them. Let me taste a little green bean. And this is what's great, it's just a simple meal. And honestly, we did have to cook, but it's a simple summer meal. It just needs like a green veggie. They're delicious, and they're delicious with the sauce on it. So eat it, definitely try this. And if you don't want the nuts, you can always leave them off, and that's just another way of preparing it with just the butter sauce. So I do have, it is a cooking channel, Trezo. I'm a Philly, my name is Philly, my name is Amy, but my channel is Philly, and I live in Philadelphia in the city, and I do cooking live streams. So welcome to the channel. We were cooking today Almond Sole, or Sole Amandine, because it's my French series that I've been doing once a month. But we also I do wings every month. On a Wings Wednesday, I do a try or buy that highlights local Philly restaurants, and I do something different. So this past month I did a smashed chicken burger, which was outstanding. And I'm already getting my schedule ready for next month because we are almost at the end of June. How can that be, Edith? It's amazing to me that we are as close as we are. So this afternoon I was actually working on my schedule. I'm very excited about it. I am going to be away at the beginning of the month, but I've got some great things planned for when I return. So yes, so I can't wait to drop the schedule. So the schedule will drop usually I do either the last day of the month or the first day of July. I'll probably do it, I might do it a little early because of when we'll be leaving. Actually, I think I'll do it on the first. I'm just sorry. And the first happens to be Hubs and my anniversary. So yeah, I think I'll drop it earlier that day. But yes, so be sure to see what happens in July. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and on the YouTube community channel. And on all of those formats is Philly Philly Live. Please like or subscribe, like and subscribe, and be sure to share and let people know about the live stream. And yes, so friends, thank you so much. And Edith, thank you for coming on. I appreciate, as always, when you come. And for those that are watching but did not feel comfortable to come in the chat, it's great to see you. And thanks for tuning in today. So friends, until we eat again, have a great week and have a good weekend.